Hi, Namaskar, and welcome to our show today. We are thrilled to have two dynamic leaders shaping the future of the Asian Indian business community here in the United States. First, we have Rajeev Krishna ji, the current president of the Asian Indian Chamber of Commerce, which is also AICC, a graduate of IIT Madras and the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Rajeev has built a remarkable career spanning engineering, manufacturing, and entrepreneurship, and from managing multi-million-dollar operations at Allied Signal Aerospace to successfully running his sign and printing business in New Jersey, Rajeev's journey is truly inspiring. He's also one of the founding members of the AICC, a proud grandfather, and a lifelong learner of Vedanta. Joining him is Komal Dangi, the incoming president of AICC for 2025. Komal is the founder and CEO of 6 global companies, including Syncreum and VeryClick, and an advocate for diversity and women's empowerment. With a master's in computer science and an MBA from NJIT, she has earned accolades like Roy Influencers, Women in Business 2024, and the Elite magazine, India's 50 most influential Indians across the world. Komal is not just a trailblazer in the business world, but also a zone chair for the New Jersey Lions Club, where she is dedicated to promoting STEM education for youth. So without any further ado, let's talk to them about their leadership journeys, exploring their vision for AICC, and get a glimpse of the exciting future they are shaping for Asian Indian businesses. So welcome Rajeev ji and welcome Komal. So how are you guys doing today?
Phenomenal, really good.
We are good. Thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here back again.
And thank you so much. Pleasure is all ours, and it's always nice when you guys visit our studios and we have a little chat about AICC, and especially, the holiday season is always nice to have people around.
For sure.
So, Rajeev ji, let me start with you. You are the current president of AICC, and tell me, what were your big goals when you took on to this role, and how do you think like you have done so far?
So thank you, Pia, for hosting us today. So I've been part of the chamber since its founding and stayed in the background, always with a vision that the chamber needs to be a substantial difference maker in the lives of Asian Indian businesses in our community. So when I got the opportunity as becoming the president of the chamber, I had 3 or 4 goals in mind. And I think we've done pretty well in meeting or exceeding those goals. The first one was to really change the trajectory of the chamber. In the last 20-25 years, the chamber had become more a social organization where people would gather, have a few drinks, and meet the same people over and over again. So one of my primary objectives was to change the dynamic of the chamber. So we started this morning breakfast events instead of an evening drinking event and eating event. It was a morning breakfast event where serious-minded business people would come and gather and network and exchange business opportunities with each other. So that went very well. We did a consecutive 10-month breakfast series, which was very, very well received and really changed the trajectory of the chamber. The second big thing which I wanted to do was to change the composition of our board and bring on an advisory board. If you're changing the trajectory of the chamber to get large corporations involved, we wanted the mentorship of large corporations.
Right.
So we formed an advisory board which has a phenomenal pharmaceutical companies, the top 50 pharmaceutical companies in the US. We have Sanofi, Bristol Myers Squibb, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan Chase, Citicorp. All these people are on our advisory board, guiding us, mentoring us, and challenging us to accomplish new heights. So that was the second thing which we accomplished. The third thing, which hopefully will happen as we go further into 2025 and beyond, is to get a path of income, at some sort of a revenue stream for our chamber without really having to go beg, borrow, steal money, or reach out to people to get sponsorships and memberships. So the whole India certification initiative which we are embarking on, one of the main criteria for that is to generate a ongoing revenue stream for our chamber so we can really tackle and get on to larger programs, more initiatives. Once we have a regular source of funding coming into the chamber, I think we can do a lot more. So those are my 3 objectives I think we have really done, and Komal has been a great part in accomplishing all 3.
Wonderful.
She's been a phenomenal part of that.
Absolutely, and I think really that is amazing, and I would like to congratulate Komal. You're going to be taking this new role as the AICC president. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. I think it's a big shoes to fill, but I'll try my best.
So tell me, Komal, as the incoming president, what's your vision for 2025? And are you planning to pick up where Rajeev is going to leave it, or you have some bold new ideas?
I think, as I already told you, there are big shoes to fill. So there are expectations from our corporate America. There are expectations from our suppliers. There are expectations from our members. So I would like to lead some of the initiatives which we have been following for the last couple of years, build on them and see how Asian Indian businesses are in forefront and make sure that they have a voice which is heard by the policymakers, by corporate America, and they have a seat on the table. We want to make sure that we are pitching in for the Asian Indians in the diverse mix. But while we are talking about Asian Indian businesses, we have to make sure that we are inclusive. That's why we are part of New Jersey Diverse Business Advocacy Council also, where we work in hand with all these other chambers who are out there in the state to make sure that we create an inclusive environment and inclusive opportunities for everyone out there.
Wonderful. And talking about initiatives or talking about impact. So Rajeev, is there a particular project or initiative that from your presidency that you're especially proud of and you want to talk about it?
I think there's two key other accomplishments or things which happened to happen when I was the president, or I am the president of the chamber. So one is the programming of the chamber itself. I think the breakfast series and a lot of the programming we do or think about is at a whole different level and different scale than what we used to think about in the past. I think that has been a big change, which I'm pretty proud of, that we have changed that. The second, which is probably more important, is we have been able to bring on board individuals like Komal, individuals like the corporate advisory people. To me, that is a bigger accomplishment than the programming we do, because that is the future of the chamber. Having strong leadership in the chamber, having strong support, strong advocacy, strong mentorship in the chamber is really what the future of the chamber is all about. So and I don't know whether it happened by design or it happened by accident, but the fact that we are attracting great new energy into the chamber is probably the biggest accomplishment I would say we have done.
And you are talking about your breakfast series. Whenever you have had it, I have heard a lot of good things about it, and I have heard a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people missing their work to go to that breakfast series. And I'm like, where is the whole office? And they're like, we are right there. So
talking about the breakfast series, we really had great corporate support, great support from our sponsors, and it was, for the most part, it was free for our members. Even though it was free for our members, the chamber ended up being positive on the revenue side, in spite of the fact that we didn't really charge for our breakfast series.
Wow, that is really amazing and inspiring. Yeah. So, I feel like collaboration, it seems to be the theme here. And Komal, let's talk about challenges. Small and mid-sized businesses, they are facing economic hurdles. So how do you plan to support them?
We are building these partnerships, these corporate partnerships. What we intend to do with these partnerships, we want to get these Asian Indian businesses into the corporate supply chain, which will lead innovation in the ecosystem. And they might get leadership roles, the opportunities which are out there, which they are unaware of. When you are a small and medium-sized business, you don't understand what those opportunities are. So we, as a chamber, we are creating an ecosystem. We are creating a platform where we will create awareness of what those programs are. If you are a smaller, medium-scale businesses, we will create a mentorship program where we understand where you are and where you want to be. And there is a lot of things which needs to be done, when where you are and where you want to go. learning never stops.
Absolutely.
So
it does
we
not.
want to make sure that we create those avenues for these businesses so that they learn and they will be able to succeed with what we have in our ecosystems, with great mentors, great corporates, great policymakers, understand what is out there and empower them with all those tools, with all those financial stabilities, because a lot of businesses fail because they don't know how to get the cash. Cash is king, right?
Absolutely.
So we have relationship with these banks who we are working with, and they can walk up to them and speak to them and understand how to maintain that cash flow to run that business. So we are thinking, we are putting them ourselves into their shoes.
Right.
And as an entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur myself, I understand what are those challenges which we have faced. So I want to make sure that any other businesses like me who wants to succeed has the tools to be successful in this.
You know, talking to you, I'm really looking forward to see, you know, what 2025 brings for AICC, and I'm sure it's going to be a galore of nice things. That's what you're going to be doing.
We are trying our best, that's what we can say, but we'll try our best to make sure we meet and exceed the expectations of our corporate America.
And I know Rajeev ji is
members.
like listening to you, but at the end, I want to ask you very nice question, okay? But right now, you know, looking ahead, you know, how do you see the chamber fostering like stronger trade relationships between the US and India, like while helping Asian Indian businesses expand globally?
I think that's a great point. So while we help businesses in the US, in New Jersey, grow by connecting with corporate America, kind of expand their vision, expand their dream. If we want to take the same opportunity, we have learned from our corporate, from our advisory board members, that there is a big need for similar initiatives in India. How do small businesses, medium-sized businesses in India, how do they get connected with corporate America? There's a lot of corporate American companies in India doing business. So how do we bring those opportunities to the Indian businesses in India?
Right.
One of the best ways of doing it is by bringing them out of their underground presence to
Comfort zone.
to a level, first of all, where they become visible to these corporate entities.
Absolutely.
So by certifying them, we will create a database which will enable corporates to find them. So that is our whole mission of duplicating what we have done here in India. And as they build relationships with corporates in India, it'll naturally, the natural progression is for them to do trade with the US. I mean, they can start doing exporting. If let's say if I'm doing a T-shirt or a IT campaign or a marketing campaign for a Sanofi or a Bristol Myers Squibb in India, if we do it well, there's no reason why the same company will not use that vendor in India to do their marketing campaign across the globe. So I think understanding the capabilities and talent of Indian businesses is the first step. Once that happens, there's a natural progression that the good ones will rise to the top and they'll be doing business at a global level. So I think that is really the future of what we are trying to do. One step at a time. It will take some time to build and develop, but that is the path we are on.
Wonderful. So my next question is, you know, just thinking about it, I want to ask you, Komal, is like advocacy. You know, it's like critical for business owners. So what strategies does the Chamber have in place to support Asian Indian entrepreneurs on legislative and policy issues?
Yeah, advocacy is very important, right? Because you want to make the voice heard. We have done multiple MOUs. Rajeev did speak about it. We are having these MOUs in place where we are partnering with, currently we are partnering with NYNG and MSDC, we are partnering with VBAC East, we are partnering with VBAC Metro New York, we are being part of NJDBSC where they have done a disparity study which talks about how diverse businesses did not get their fair share compared to New York, while in New Jersey they were left behind. So being on the table and discussing with the policymakers how Asian Indian businesses can also get their fair share, while each of the communities are speaking for their own communities. We want to make sure that Asians are also on that table, and we are talking on behalf of them and making sure that they are heard. So we are taking those steps, and these are all intentional, right? NJDBAC is a diverse business council, and they are we are creating these relationships with the legislators and the policymakers out there, because eventually they have to understand what those problems are, because they are the one who are creating these policies and legislations out there. That's why we went there and kind of become a part of that intentional. So this was intentional. Then we are trying to work and see with senators and other whoever is out there who are building these policies for businesses. We want to make sure that we work with them, invite them, host events where they understand what is the landscape of Asian Indians over here, and because you don't believe until unless you see.
Absolutely.
So these events will be kind of a showcase for our Indian businesses and Asian businesses, where they have the ability to showcase what they have, speak themselves, do supplier spotlights for them, bringing them in the forefront where they are kind of behind.
Right.
Is our objective, is what we plan to do. We have a range of events which we have already planned our calendar for 2025.
Wow.
Which includes events focused for women. We are launching a series for women, which we call it as Empower Her, where we will be building programs for these women-owned businesses. There are women who are starting businesses from home. They don't know how to navigate the environment. We want to speak with them and speak for them to different corporate America and policymakers, so that they understand what those opportunities are and win some business for them.
Well, it sounds like you both are bringing so much to the table of AICC. And but before we wrap up this interview, I want to ask Rajeev ji, do you have any advice for Komal, especially for the year 2025, as she's going to take over as president?
No, there is no advice. Komal has been my right hand, my left hand for all these 2 years. She's been on the board, so she knows exactly what we're doing. She's a full partner in whatever initiatives we are pursuing. And I think if she just continues to do what she has done in the last 2 years, I think we'll do phenomenally well. I have no doubts about that.
Wonderful. And I think, to me, it's kind of clear that AICC is in great hands, whether it was past, present, or of course, future. Yes, so I want to thank you both for sharing your insights today about AICC, and wishing you a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all our listeners.
And Happy New Year to all the businesses out there, corporate America and legislators and policymakers. Thank you very much for your support. It means a lot.
Thank you so much.